Following a weekend of bloodshed on the streets of the capital, the country's top cop is speaking on the crime issue. Good Monday evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. It's always good to see you. The police chief says the crime problem is coming from a group of culprits who have no respect for law and order. During a press conference today at the police headquarters on East Street, authorities released pictures of some of the most wanted men and said that more boots are being placed on the ground as they work to put a drastic dent in crime. LaDawn Davis leads us off tonight from the police headquarters.
Commissioner of Police Ellison Greenslade says it has been a very difficult weekend for members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force who have had their hands full investigating 7 homicides recorded between Thursday and Sunday night. The nation's top cop says the Bahamas is not in a crime crisis, and since January, the police force has reviewed the crime spree brewing in this country, particularly in New Providence. He confirmed the problem young male prolific offenders who are in and out of the system.
Those numbers, there's a tendency to think or to feel that you have one person moving around just executing people. That is not what has happened in the country. Every one of these murder cases that we have looked at have their own signature. The point that I've made before, I continue to make, that there are far too many healthy-bodied, hardened, prolific offenders, young men predominantly, in our country, more so in New Providence, who have no hesitation in causing harm to other people to the extent of killing them. And they themselves in the process, as time goes on, they become victims.
Commissioner Greenslade says so far this year, some 46 illegal firearms were seized, 38 in New Providence, 5 in Grand Bahama, 1 in Abaco, Bimini, and Eleuthera, 34 magazines for high-powered weapons, and 795 rounds of assorted ammunition have been confiscated. He credits the relationship between the force and the public for the success in getting illegal firearms off our streets.
To deploy our resources on the front lines to police this country, officers are out there in large numbers. Our vehicles are mobile and moving about in our communities. Our urban renewal 2.0 officers are on the streets daily. We have interventions in our schools, interventions in our churches, to the extent that we are out there speaking to people, asking them to keep their eyes open, asking them to take the requisite prevention measures to ensure that they and their family members are safe. And those appeals have been answered.
Police display the type of firearms they say are used to commit crimes on our streets. Commissioner Greenslade maintains there are still several men who are big targets and wanted for questioning by police. He once again made an appeal to the public to assist in turning them in.
Patrick Joff is still outstanding. We held him up before and we said, turn him in. He's a bad man. He's committing serious crimes. He's causing problems in the community. Somebody needs to turn him in before he hurts someone else or he himself is hurt. Mark McKenzie needs to be turned in. Mario DeVoe, aka Mario Fox, I held him up before and I said turn him in. We need to see him. Deshaun Smith, aka Spider, another young man that we need to see. Of the homicide, murder of Terry Marshall alias Ganza, if the public were to help us to find this man, alias Sin, and I would like you to take a good look at it, we can solve this murder today.
The police commissioner also revealed that some 7 persons were arraigned before the magistrate's court on Monday for murder and other serious crimes. Commissioner Greenslade says the only solution to this escalating crime problem is that once arrested and charged, the suspects should have their day in court and remain incarcerated.
We don't interfere in that process. It's a simple appeal that I make, that we have to ensure that people that walk around with assault weapons and automatic and semi-automatic pistols and other variations of weapons, that have used those weapons to cause harm to people in our communities, that have in fact murdered people, that have raped people, that have attempted to murder people, we feel they should remain. I'm going to make no apology for saying it.
Greenslade is strongly encouraging young men to cease and desist from a life of crime and drugs and seek spiritual healing to get their lives back on track. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.